It's Wednesday and it's Magician 101 time. We've got a lot of questions. We're going to jump right into them. Make sure to post your questions down below for next week. I'll give them an answer. Perry has the first question and it says, have you ever used magic to impress someone on a date? No, I have not impressed anybody on a date with magic. I haven't even used magic to get a date. But hey, maybe one day. You never know. All right, so we're going to go around to Noah Brady's question. What do you think about the Fab Magic Zombie Ball? Okay, so Zombie Ball is really cool tricks where you take a ball, something like this, and you make it float. It floats, it does some random things, and then it floats back down onto your table. Really cool trick. Zombie balls are classics of magic, but I don't know I did some research on this Fab Magic version, because I don't have the Fab Magic version. I don't know what's different from that and a regular zombie ball, so I'm not really entirely sure. If some magician's watching this out there and they have a Fab Magic zombie ball, post it down below what you think of it, because I don't know. So I was watching the demo for it, and I don't know what's different between that and a regular zombie ball. I'm not entirely sure. So post your comments about that. If you have the Fab Magic zombie ball, post that down below. And Noah Brady also wants to know about the multiplying billiard balls. Okay, I don't do any stage manipulation. I have a terrible time with like multiplying balls, that kind of thing, where you have one ball in between your fingers, and then you shake your fingers, and there's two. Shake it, goes back to one, then to two, then to three. I don't do any of that. The multiplying billiard balls, though, I've seen magicians do that on YouTube, and it looks really good, because you do the same premise. Billiard ball goes there, you give it a shake, and then it transforms into a bunch of other billiard balls and things like that. Now, with those multiplying ball tricks, if you use the regular size balls, like a regular size billiard ball, which I have billiard balls right down here, you got to make sure your fingers are big enough that they fit the billiard ball in between. You can do all the standard moves with it. Because if your fingers aren't big enough, and it's going to be a little harder to do all the moves that you need to do. So if you don't have big hands, you're not going to be able to do the routine. So keep that in mind if you're looking to buy the multiplying billiard balls. But I think from ball manipulation, I think the billiard balls makes a lot of sense. I saw a magician do video of it on YouTube where he took a ball triangle. One of the things, put all the balls in little triangles, and he was like making the ball vanish as he pulled the ball through and back out. And he was using cue balls, or using pool sticks to shoot the ball like down his arm. It was really cool to see. And then he did some multiplying balls and making the balls go in his case and then coming back out. So really cool. So I recommend getting that, because I think that kind of multiplying balls makes a lot of sense. But there's also other multiplying balls out there you can get. I know Magic Geek sells an instant download for multiplying aluminum foil balls, and that looks really cool too. Alright, and he says the color changing champagne, sorry for the spelling. First of all, don't be sorry about the spelling, Noah, because my spelling's just as bad, or probably worse than yours is, so don't worry about the spelling. I know what you mean, so that's all that matters. Alright, so the color changing champagne, you got a glass of champagne. It's colored champagne. So you have a glass of champagne. It's like, it can start off blue. You take a silk, you brush it in front of it, and then boom, it has the champagne changes to green or something like that. But it looks like a really cool trick. I don't own the trick. I don't know the trick. But from what I've seen when I was doing some research for it, it looks like a really cool trick. The only thing is, though, it would work best on a stage or in cabaret. So if that's not your style of magic, if you do like child's birthday parties and you're trying to decide if you're going to buy it for that, don't buy it for that. It really would only work in like a cabaret style show where you have people like sitting around you and you're like standing behind a table and you're doing magic that's elegant and stuff like that. So if you're wondering about to buy the trick, I wouldn't recommend getting it unless you do a lot of stage or cabaret style magic. 5555 Trumpet says, what do you think of the mini trick bottles? And he got some other stuff to in that. The mini trick bottles is the passe bottles, where you take a bottle. It's almost like the confusing crowns over here, where you put two bottles into, or a bottle into two tubes, and you turn the tubes upside down. The volunteer lifts up their tube, and the top of their bottle points like this. But when you lift yours up, it's still right side up, even though you turned it over. That's basically what the trick is. That uses like a martini bottle kind of deal. Again, same thing. That only really would work with cabaret style. Same thing as the color changing champagne. The thing is too, if you want to do it for kids, there's lots of other great tricks out there, such as the confusing crowns, and another trick I'll get into in a moment because Jay asked about it. That is also really good for kids. So if you're looking for something to do with kids, there's also a multiplying passe Coke bottles, which also would work as well. So I wouldn't get that unless you can find it in Coke bottles or soda bottles, something like that. And he also wants to know about this little trick, classic of magic, the tell-o clock. Tell-o clock. What this tell-o clock is it's a little thing that looks like a Zippo lighter. You pull this little window down, there's a clock inside of it. You have the spectators set the time to any number that they want. So any time that they want, they cover up the window like this. They pull the window back up, and then you can tell them exactly what time is set. Just by having them placed on the table, you can tell what time it's set to. A really great trick. I don't use it that often because it doesn't fit my style of performing. And also some people haven't figured the trick out, but they come pretty close. And like if I was on a magic TV show and I did this, and they were pretty close to figuring out, you would probably give the magician the win, or the other magicians who are watching the win for getting it somewhat right. And I feel that's what you would do with this clock, is somehow people like, some people say, oh, you can actually look down and see the time or something, or you can't, or the thing. There's been a lot of really weird accusations, and it just really didn't fit my style of performing, so I don't use this. But it is a great trick, though. When I did used to use this when I first got it, before I found out that it wasn't fitting my style of magic, I got some okay reactions with this. So it's a good trick, but I don't think it's for everyone's style. You have to kind of be a mentalist to use this thing. I think if you're anything but a mentalist, it's not going to fit your style, in my opinion. But that's just me, though. That is just me. All right, and finally, he wants 555 Trumpet wants to know about the Tenyo Trick Magic Pop-Up. He wants to know about the Magic Trick Pop-Up from Tenyo. Okay, so the Tenyo Magic Pop-Up is you take a greeting card, you pull this out, and you open it up, and inside's a little box. You pull out of this little paper box a little rubber ball, a little red rubber ball. And then the greeting card was inside the envelope, and you pull out this little, and then a little box pops up. That's right, it's a little box in the center of this greeting card pops up, and then you pull out a little red rubber ball. Looks like a good trick. I don't have the trick, but that is one of the things that's on my magic list of tricks to buy, but it's like one of those things that's like really low on my list. So, but it does look like a really good trick. And the only thing I'd be concerned about is the greeting card, the pop-up box, and the envelope might wear out over time. And I think you're paying like $20 for this trick, so I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, because if the greeting card or whatever is going to wear out with a little pop-up box and you're paying $20 and it's only going to last you a month, I don't know how I feel about it. So I'd actually have to get one in my possession to see if it's a good trick or not. But from what the Magic Ink demo looks like, some other demos I've seen online look all right. So, you have to go check it out and see if it fits your style of magic. Just my opinion. All right. And he also wants to know, when you perform street magic, how do you get people to watch you do your tricks? Okay, I've talked about this a couple times on Magician 101, so I'm not going to go over it in great detail, but I will just talk a little bit about it. Normally, I'm doing something, whether it be doing like magic wand stick vanishes, or I'm doing like multiplying ice cream cones or bananas, until somebody walks over and asks what I'm doing, and then I start a magic trick. Or the thing I really like to do is ask open-ended questions, where, like, instead of asking, would you like to see a magic trick, where your response is either a yes or a no, I like to say, oh, what's your favorite card in the deck of cards? And they have to stop and say, my favorite card? And they have to think about it, because that's something that they could just be walking by, you ask them, and they say no, immediately say no. They have to stop and say, favorite card? 10 of diamonds? And they have to stop, and that really does get people to stop and watch. I know you shouldn't do an ambitious card routine first, but that's kind of what I'll do, is some kind of trick where the spectator will stop and I can use whatever card they name in a trick. So I have some tricks already in mind, like I can, use a trick like I could do forced outcome, though forced outcome is better if you don't know the card. But I can do like an ambitious card routine, or if they name like the Queen of Diamonds, I'll do a kind of a 2-card Monty routine. So it really kind of depends whatever they name. I like to kind of incorporate the card they name into some kind of magic trick. Whether it be, oh, you like the 10 of diamonds, and maybe doing something where I flip the deck like this and boom, the 10 of diamonds is right on top, or something like that. Or maybe I'll do an ambitious card routine where I'll say, here, why don't we go find your card? Oh, 10 of diamonds. I know this isn't the 10 of diamonds, but I'll say, watch, and I'll do like an ambitious card routine with it. And that way it gets them involved using their favorite card in the deck. So normally I just like to ask the open-ended questions. Never a closed-ended question. A closed-ended question, of course, would be like, would you like to see a magic trick where they have to answer yes or no? Use an open-ended. And it's really good to work retail too, by the way, if you want to do that, because in retail you have to ask open-ended questions. You can't always, if you want to provide good customer service skills, you got to ask the open-ended questions and never the closed-ended questions. So you want to make sure that you, if you can, work retail, because it helps. All right, and Jay Brothwick, and also one other thing about the perform the street magic thing. Some magicians like to shout things like "Magic Show in 50 seconds," or "Come watch the magic show." I don't scream things like that. I have screamed some things where I say, "This is oh, this magic show is really good. I should know. I've seen it before," and that kind of thing. I'll scream that. That's the only thing I scream at people. Normally, I don't do the screaming of things at people. Normally, I'll ask the open-ended questions is my favorite response. It's my favorite way to get people to watch magic. Okay. And Jay Brothwick got the final couple questions. Hey, 444R, thanks for showing me Pocket Illusion. It was way cool. What do you think of Multiplying Pringles set? This is the one I talked about earlier when 5 Trumpet asked about the mini trick bottles. The Multiplying Pringles set is you have 2 cans of Pringles, and you are basically doing Confusing Crowns, Passe bottles, and the Multiplying bottles all in one gigantic routine. And it's a really good routine for kids because, for kids shows, if you did the Multiplying bottles, you try to paste or try to stick the crazy, like, soda bottle labels over the martini labels, and it looks weird. This is really good because the Pringles set, if you do a routine, kids know Pringles, they know of Pringles, they've probably eaten Pringles before. And the cool thing is you use a soda and a can of Pringles, and you do the Multiplying bottle routine where the can of soda and the Pringles switch places. You can also buy the Passe bottles where you turn it over and the Pringles can comes right side up every single time. That's like an add-on you can buy to the Multiplying Pringles set. And then at the end, you can actually tear open one of the Pringles and eat them. And there's actually, and they show there are real Pringles inside of the can at the end of the trick, which is also adds to it because you can, at the beginning of the trick, you can take the soda if you want and drink it, or at the end you can drink the soda, and you can make the soda change places on it, and that's really cool to at the end of the trick be able to show that there's real contents inside of the can and inside of the Pringles can and inside of the Coke can. So it's really cool. So I like the trick. That is one that's really high on my magic list of tricks to get, but it's so doggone expensive. It really is. It's 125 American dollars for it. And that is really expensive for a magic trick that, and I'm not doing very many kid shows anymore, so it's not going to pay for itself, which also stinks. But maybe one day I'll get the Multiplying Pringles set. Maybe one day. All right. And Jay also wants to know about Boris the Magic Spider. I'm so glad somebody asked about Boris the Magic Spider. I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about with Boris the Magic Spider. Now, I don't have Boris the Magic Spider. Boris the Magic Spider is made by, I don't know who, I'm drawing a blank. I want to say it's Jay Sankey, but I know, Andrew Main. Andrew Main is who makes it. I just remember. Good. Andrew Main makes it. And he also makes Boris the Magic Spider or Bob the Magic Cockroach. And there's 2 different Bob the Magic Cockroaches out there. Magic Geek sells a multi-pack where it's the Magic Spider, Boris, and Bob the Cockroach. I'll talk about that in a moment. There's also an app called Boris or Bob the Magic, the Psychic Cockroach. And Bob the Psychic Cockroach, you have ESP cards. And but by the way, I'm going to do that for the 365 Day Magic Challenge next week. So be on the lookout for that. I'll give my full review of that. And I'll show you what that does too. But Boris the Magic Spider is basically the web by Richard Sanders. And the web, of course, is where you have cards, blank cards, spider webs appear on them, then you say wave your hand over it, and the spectator waves their hand and the giant spider's on the back of their hand. This is sort of the same routine, except it's done with an iPhone, and you have this little spider crawling around the iPhone screen. And then you say, oh, watch the spider. And the spider goes off of the iPhone, goes away, comes back, and you say, let's get the spider to go away again. Wave your hand over it. They wave their hand over it, and this giant spider's on the back, and they start freaking out. It's really, really cool. If you're subscribed to the Nerdist channel, Justin Willman, the Nerdist channel is a channel on YouTube. They do a bunch of videos in there. Justin Willman, though, you might know him from Scrabble Showdown on the Hub. You might know him from a couple times on the Rachel Ray Show. He's been on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. You might know him from Cupcake Wars. That guy has his own channel or his own show on there called Magic Meltdown. And the Halloween special, he did Boris the Magic Spider. Go check it out. Gets really good reaction. But anyways, so Boris crawls off the iPhone. They shake, they wave their hand, and the spider's on the back of their hand. They freak out. So it sort of works the same way as Richard Sanders' The Web, except instead of having the cards, he's in the iPhone. And then Bob the Magic Cockroach also does the same thing, where the cockroach runs around the screen, and the spectator waves their hand, and boom, this cockroach is on the back of their hand. I don't have the trick. I used to have the web. I stopped doing it, though, because the spider would never stay on the back of the spectator's hand. I would use the gimmick that was supplied, but the spectator would never seem to have, the spider would always fall off. And it would fall off on the ground, they'd see it and be like, really? And then so, I never used it. But this looks like really cool, something really cool, so maybe, who knows, I might get it. It looks really cool. The premise looks really neat to be able to use an iPhone to have it walk around the screen and stuff like that. So, really, really cool. And be on the lookout next week for Bob the Psychic Cockroach. I'll do that trick for the 365-day Magic Challenge. Okay. Final question from Jay Brothwick says, and would you think the Mind Freak Ultimate Magic Kit by Criss Angel is a good set or not? Thanks, mate. Okay. All my feelings about Criss Angel aside, some people hate him, like I do. Some people love him, like Brendan Shepard. Brendan Shepard, I don't know if he loves him, but he does like Criss Angel. I don't like Criss Angel. I'm not going to get into that here. This is supposed to be helping magicians about reviewing products and your magic questions and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to be talking about my feelings on Criss Angel here. But I am going to be unbiased about the Mind Freak Magic Kit. This guy right here. Now, before you ask, well, if you hate Criss Angel, why do you have his Magic Kit? I have his Magic Kit because I got it as a Christmas present one year. And it's I don't think it's in good taste to tell somebody, hey, I hate Criss Angel, your present sucks. So I don't think that's a good idea to tell somebody that. But let me review the Mind Freak Magic Kit. I'm going to be completely unbiased here. I will give a full unbiased review. So this is the Platinum Magic Kit. There's also an Ultimate Magic Kit that comes with, I think it's 600 magic tricks. The Platinum one comes with 350 magic tricks, which is kind of a lie. All magic kits are a lie. When they say they come with 350, they really don't come with 350 magic tricks, because inside there is an instruction book. Hang on, wait a minute. It's stuck. If there's an instruction book on the inside that gives you all 350 magic tricks. And all magic kits are like this, where they come with an instruction manual. Maybe you'll get like, maybe close to 30 props in your kit, and then the other tricks come from the instruction book. Okay, so let me show you the props that you get. This is actually a really cool magic kit. If you're just starting off in magic, or even if you're kind of advanced, because there's some really good stuff in here. For the beginner or the advanced magician alike, this is a great magic kit. Criss Angel did not throw some cheap little junky tricks in here. There are a couple junky ones in here that come in every standard magic kit. But there's some really good magic tricks in here that don't come in a lot of magic kits. And I'm really surprised they come in here. So let me go through what you get. All right. So the first thing you get is you get, I don't know what to start with. You get 2 decks of Criss Angel Mind Freak cards. You get the Perfect Penetration frame. This little thing where you take 2 playing cards, you shove a pencil through there. This is one trick that comes in every standard Magic kit. This is the one with the numbers, where you have the spectator get their age, and then you tell them their age by these cards. This is one that I really, really like, and I'm surprised that it came in this Magic kit. But this is the card box, and I've already done this for the Magic Challenge. But you take a playing card, you can do whatever you want to it. You can change in another card. It can, you can tear the card up, throw it in here, and then store it. It's really cool, really cool. This is one I'm surprised that comes in this Magic kit. It's a good trick. Another standard one that you get is the spiked coin illusion. You get that. Let's see. You get you get this trick here. This is the nest of coins, the nest of boxes, but for the coin version, the small version. Again, very surprised it's in that's in this Criss Angel Mind Freak kit. Let's see. You also get Silk Vanish, so you get the Silk Vanish. And if you're a magician, you know what you use to vanish the silk. You get that included as well. Can't tell you what that is, of course, if you're not a magician. But if you're a magician, you know what you use to vanish the silk. You get an X-ray box, a really cool X-ray box version, actually. It's got compass rose on there, north, south, east, and west kind of thing, and it comes with a nice box. This is not a paper box. A lot of these X-ray boxes are paper boxes, and they like break. This is like a plastic box with a bunch of colors on it. Really cool. Really cool. I like this version, actually. You get, these are two things that you don't get in standard Magic kits. You get 4 sponge balls to do a sponge ball routine with, which is something that does not come in a standard set of a standard Magic kit. So it's really cool to have a nice, you know, a nice sponge ball set. It's really cool to have that. Let's see. You also get this, and this is really surprising too that you actually get this. You get a cups and ball set. Now, granted, these are just plastic cups, but you don't get cups and ball sets this quality or this style in a Magic set. You normally get the cheap plastic red, yellow, and blue cups. This is actually a nice set. This is something like a professional magician would carry around. Wouldn't be plastic. It'd be something like this. But these look pretty much identical to this guy. So, you know, it really looks about the same. So it's like you get professional quality looking props. You also get a secret Magic floating gimmick, so you can make stuff float. If you know float magic and how to make things levitate, you know what it is. I can't talk about it. And you get a DVD that teaches you how to use all the stuff in your Mind Freak Magic kit. And then the instruction manual will show you how to do all 350 tricks. So, overall, what do I think of the Criss Angel Mind Freak Magic Kit? I think this is a great set for a beginner magician or even an advanced magician. There's some stuff in here that even an advanced magician would really enjoy too, such as the sponge balls and the secret floating utility gimmick, which is also nice too, which you don't see that in a lot of Magic kits. The gimmick to make things float. So it's really, really cool, actually. So if you're looking to pick up a Magic kit for Christmas for maybe a relative, a niece, or a nephew who's just starting to get interested in Magic, or you want a nice Magic kit for yourself, go with the Criss Angel Mind Freak Ultimate Magic Kit, because I really do like this set. Even though I don't like Criss Angel, and again, I'm not going to talk about my feelings here, I think he's got a really great Magic set here, and he really has hit a home run with this Magic kit. So, again, you can get the Platinum or the Ultimate version. So, hope you guys enjoyed the Magician 101. I'll see you next week, and post your questions down below for next week. I have a Jack, and I also have 3 10s. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the Jack, and we're going to sandwich it right in. Of course, you get the 2 tubes, and you get a certain amount of bottles. Let me grab one of the bottles.
He was on a roll with hole-in-one. Not only did he sink the putt on his first shot, but he also got the $500